Hi, we're AllHands. As a group, we will work together to create a response to HealthBridge's mission to improve health and health equity through research, policy, and action. Working alongside HealthBridge, we will develop solutions to the current threats around markets in informal settlements. Our group believes in the equality of all, with people not being pushed out of the vision and neglected, which is why our group is called All Hands, meaning that no one gets left behind. We intend to shed the spotlight on people living in informal settlements and push to better these communities. Our ideas matter because our main focus is to improve the lives of people who are being affected by the poor living situations. We imagine the people in the community and what they would want for their future. Our design concepts are well thought out with research behind every point. Collaboration is key, and this solution will help HealthBridge expand on their ideas and initiatives to create maximum effect. HealthBridge is a non-for-profit organisation whose goal is to aid the vulnerable populations, improving health and health equity. Through collaboration with HealthBridge, All Hands believes that we can help aid towards a more sustainable future. We have chosen to explore Dharavi in India to demonstrate how our design concept would positively impact local cultural markets in an informal settlement. Dharavi, the largest slum on earth, has severe public health issues. The pollution causing unsafe water and sanitation facilities stems from an array of issues. One of those factors being the result of insufficient waste management. Mountains of rubbish fill streets as rubbish collection in Dharavi is non-existent. Dharavi's economy is built upon small businesses and market vendors within food and textile markets. Vendors within food markets in particular play a key role in nourishing the community. For these vendors, it is a significant struggle to maintain adequate food safety in the harsh realities of the slums. This not only results in the vendors selling unsafe food, but also around unsafe drains, waste, and feces. In some cases, food is prepared on the floor where hundreds of diseased rats live off the rubbish. Through using a radar, we firstly determined threats in the community and areas that may be determined as below the threshold line. We found that Dharavi's social context is fairly sustainable and present, however the health context suffers. Through research, it is understood that the health context is at risk due to poor waste management and polluted streets. It was also found that one reason for the overly polluted streets is a cause from cultural differences, whereby respecting the public areas is not as valued and garbage is just thrown onto the streets. Analysing the mindset of a Dharavi local rose key problems of focus. A community-based solution would need to fit the needs and wants of a Dharavi, not just a single resident but the entire slum. Categorizing these aspects of mindset into an empathy map helps with this analysis, breaking the people down from what they want, how they perceive the world, and essentially how they think it should change into core questions and perspectives. We also took into account the stakeholders in and around the community who can help contribute to creating a sustainable development strategy, those being international organisations including HealthBridge, the public sector like governments and councils, non-government organisations like businesses and medical facilities, and all other individuals. Using the power matrix, the stakeholders can be weighed against each other in terms of feedback and involvement importance based on purely two factors: how much they are interested and how much power they have on the implementation of the design. Designing a sustainable scenario would mean meeting the Sustainable Development Goals. Alongside HealthBridge, we believe that Dharavi is lacking the SDG goals 3, good health and well-being, 8, decent work and economic growth, and 11, sustainable cities and communities. These goals are our priority and drive in creating a sustainable future for Dharavi. We envision our sustainable future scenario to initially have basic but near perfect fundamental living conditions, this being safety and security like shelter and cleanliness of communities like clean water and sanitation facilities. Then, through creating safe and clean environments, local markets will have safer working environments but will also have more of an appeal factor. This factor will target customers and bring more of a tourist presence. This will benefit market vendors and create economic growth. Although our future scenario for markets in informal settlements is extremely broad and is of a higher standard, we believe that our concept will contribute to creating a safe and healthy environment not only for locals but also people from outside the slum community. Making the markets more attractive will capitalize on the slum tourist idea. This will bring in external wealth, make the city governance think twice, and possibly develop more of the burgeoning export trade. Our concept is initiated in the early stages of our design future. We believe that through implementing our design concept, positive and knock on effects will gradually develop. In addition to our concept, other focuses and implementations need to be initiated in order to create a sustainable future by 2050. As portrayed through the SDG targets, our end goal is a clean and safe environment that utilizes cultural and traditional heritage to promote beneficial and sustainable tourism that will create economic growth. Our idea is a simple collaborative initiative on solid waste management. This initiative ensures not only efficient collection of waste, but also proper segregation for recycling. We have designed a waste disposal unit that will be located in and around informal markets. The bins are segregated into 3 categories: food scraps and compostables, recyclables, and non-recyclable items. Local city workers will be employed to spread out to collect the rubbish from local markets and neighbourhoods. This includes rubbish on the streets as well as in the bins. The garbage is transported to a waste management plant where the waste is carefully separated. Organic matter is sold to farmers as fertilizers, and dry waste, including plastics, is segregated further and sold to recycling units. This is the incentives for locals to get involved. The core principle behind effective waste management is community participation. Communities are asked to segregate their waste and dispose correctly into the bins provided. But education will be required to encourage the locals about waste segregation, cleanliness, health and habits, as this is non-existent in India. India is known as the second most populated country in the world, where close to 150,000 tons of solid waste is produced every day. Its biodegradable fraction ranges from 30 to 70% depending on the city. However, currently not even 5% of the organic waste is converted into compost. This means that there is a huge potential for composting and recycling. AllHands' vision is to work with recycling companies and local farms in and around Dharavi to sell waste to and enlighten them with our vision of the slum and local markets. The waste produced will be recycled and given a new life. The sale of the waste will also help market vendors improve their economic status if they get involved. One of the most important parts of Dharavi's culture is helping each other, which is what AllHands is all for. Local recycling companies and local farms will be working with AllHands to improve the economic, environment, and sociocultural status of the slum. Our concept calls upon council and government representatives to help fund the bins and the waste management plans. The bins can be made from locally sourced materials, therefore being very cost effective. Large dump sites are present in Dharavi, so the idea of reshaping those dump sites into waste management plants would be an effective use of space. This would cost near to nothing. Local workers will be employed to collect the rubbish and sort it at the waste management plant. The costing for these workers would come from the sale of the waste. Lastly, we are hoping that organisations and volunteers can help us educate this important matter to locals. Through our design concept, we believe that we can help local market vendors improve their economic status and also add benefits for customers. Through effective waste management in Dharavi, not only will local markets but also all other public areas be cleaner, safer, and overall more appealing. Making the slum tourism more attractive to those outside of the informal settlements will bring in external wealth and encourage local governments to reshape for the better. Therefore, making Dharavi cleaner and safer will overall positively impact the whole community in addition to the market vendors and customers. We believe that we can achieve our goal in creating a clean and safe environment that utilizes cultural and traditional heritage to promote beneficial and sustainable tourism and create economic growth.